Can you believe it? It's happened. For the first time, and I can't tell you how long, the NASCAR community has pulled together and agrees. If you've been keeping up on Twitter, if you've been keeping up here on YouTube, Facebook, anywhere in social media, you could go anywhere. You could talk to your race fan buddies at work. If you're living in the same house, anything. The NASCAR community has come together, and NASCAR better not mess this one up. We want him gone. We've wanted him gone. We've wanted Mr. I've got a big old chip on my shoulder gone. He's not going to be gone forever, but at least we could go one race. We could go one race in the past, 3 years now? 4 years? I don't know. Without having to hear all about Bill Wallace. That's his real name, by the way. It's William. It's William Darrell Wallace Jr., but I have an uncle, William. We can call him Bill. That's what we're going to call him. And I hope he sees us and it pisses him off. And I hope everybody starts calling him that. Bill Wallace. So that's what we're going to call him today. We're going to call him Bill. That's his name. So, we're not going to concentrate really on the wreck a lot. We all seen it. We're just going to go over it real quick here because we've all seen it. We're going to go over two things mainly here of why he needs to be gone. Actually, you know what? It's probably going to, with me, I ramble a lot. So it's probably going to end up being a lot more. Okay. So we all saw it. Kyle Larson, no doubt. He persuaded Bill to go up towards the wall. We heard it in the interview. I don't lift. If you don't lift and you ended up in the wall, whose fault is it? Anybody else would have lifted and then gone after him. If Bill would have lifted after being forced up towards the wall, caught Kyle and then got into his back bumper, loosened him up and pushed Kyle up the track a little bit, hey, that's racing. Do what you do, brother. Didn't happen that way. Comes down the track, says he lost his steering. Then didn't happen. The telemetry was on TV. He went full throttle. Took out Christopher Bell in the process. This is what I really want to focus on. The interview. Towards the end of the interview, he was asked about how his Toyota teammate got taken out in the process. I gotta take this off because it's kind of warm in here. Cold here in Nebraska right now. Warm in the house. But we're gonna... I ramble. He was asked about how Christopher Bell got taken out, and he got that arrogant look on his face, and he says, "That's sports." No, you don't take out your teammates. That would be Christopher Bell's in the playoffs, okay? That would be like taking out your quarterback, okay? When your star players on your team. When you're heading towards playoffs in the NFL, if you're in the playoffs and you take out one of your star players, like your quarterback or maybe your star running back or receiver, you take them out because you did something stupid in retaliation to somebody on another team, and you hit him, concuss him, whatever. No, Christopher Bell did not get a concussion; he didn't get hurt, but you take him out for that game, and then you say, "Well, that's just sports." It's not sports. We're going to reverse this. Dale Earnhardt Jr. wants to get into Cup. Only problem is that the only charter that's left, there's one charter, I believe, is $30 million. Sorry. NASCAR teams these days ain't worth $30 million. I believe NASCAR is going to start on the uprise where maybe the team could be roughly worth $20 million. Right now it ain't worth it. But right now we're going to pretend, okay? So we're going to pretend that Bill shoves Larson up towards the wall and runs him out of room. We're going to pretend Larson is racing for Dale Earnhardt Jr., whose cars would come from Hendrick. So we're pretending Kyle Larson gets shoved up the track by Bill Wallace, chases Bill down the track, takes him out, goes up the track, and hits Chase Elliott, takes Chase Elliott out of the race, and possibly takes him out of his chance to get to the Final Four. And in his interview, Kyle says, "That's racing." What do you think's going to happen? Kyle would face huge repercussions from not only Dale Earnhardt Jr., not only NASCAR, but Rick Hendrick would be on the phone to Dale Earnhardt Jr. saying, "You need to get that boy under control." As a matter of fact, why don't you go ahead and just let him know that this is his last year under contract. We're buying him out because we don't want to have somebody like that running for us. Toyota better be on the phone to Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan saying, "You better get that boy under control. Better yet, how about this is his last year? Get him the hell out." We have a lot of talent in TRD right now. A lot of you out there maybe just keep track of Cup, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But there is a lot of talent. And there's one talent that I really wish would leave Ford and go back to Toyota. And that's Haley Deegan. And I might make another video about that. But if anybody watched her in that Xfinity race where she came in 13th, I believe, her very first Xfinity race, and she comes in 13th. Bravo. That was impressive. Anyway, getting off track here. Bill Wallace has been a thorn in our side in this sport for a very long time. From the whole noose incident, which everybody knew that was not a noose. You've got hundreds of people that twice a year see those garage pull downs. I mean, the garage pull downs, you pull them down, that's what was supposedly the noose. Come on. Everybody knew it. That was just a whole diversity thing. And I think diversity in NASCAR would be great. I think if we have a field of Hispanics in there, which we have Daniel Suarez, Asian, Kyle Larson's what his mom or dad is Japanese or something like that. We got Bill, which Bill just needs to get the. We have what's his name? I can't remember his name in the Xfinity right now, doing a hell of a job. Who is a black man? I mean, he's doing a good job. If he can make it to the Cup, but we need more. And if we could get some female drivers in there that can actually contend to win, unlike Danica, who is just the face, get drivers like Haley. Getting off track again. Anyways, Bill has done so many things in this sport that he just needs to go. From throwing Powerade into Alex Bowman's face, bringing Black Lives Matter to a race, one of the biggest companies, businesses, whatever you want to call it, BLM, that just went around and destroyed cities. Everywhere they went, the city just got destroyed. He invited them to a race. And he wants to complain about getting ran up the track. Look what he did to Keselowski at Auto Club. Look what he did to Logano last year at Talladega. And then all the cars that were involved in that. Every single time that Bill gets a little pissed off, there's people that are innocent bystanders that end up getting hurt. And if he can lose his fuse that fast to where he just barely gets around the wall, and it's his own fault he didn't lift. If you didn't lift and you hit the wall, that's your fault. Yes, Kyle maybe should have realized that he was on the track and should have lifted. But Bill said in his interview, "I don't lift." Comes on the track, hits Kyle. Kyle goes up the track, gets into Eric Jones. If you can lose your cool that quick, you don't need to be in a car that's going up to speeds of 200 miles per hour. To where if somebody rubs you a little bit wrong, you're going to hook their right rear. We got two drivers out right now. One of them is Bill's teammate, Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch is done with racing full time. He said he's going to do a couple part-time races. He's still going to drive race cars, but he's on a part-time now. And then you've got Bill that's going and hooking people in the right rear, trying to put people head on to the fence. In a car that if you barely scrape the wall like Alex Bowman did, you're out, you got a concussion? Tell me how that makes sense. Remember how Keselowski got hooked by Edwards about winning the grandstand? These are just all my feelings. I want you all to comment down there. I know I'm not going to get a lot of views on this, but just tell me what you think. Peace.